So the guys that helped me to build this place are called CHC. They're a local outfit, and they have, one of the great things about them is they have their own in-house architect who was able to really go over all the specifics of the school with me during the construction, basically holding my hand through the process. Being a school of music, we have some very specific requirements as far as the soundproofing goes, and they really did a fantastic job of making the rooms that we have here. We have 2 large rehearsal rooms and about 8 small lesson rooms, and they did a really good job of soundproofing these rooms and making them comfortable, and maybe most importantly, giving them a rock and roll sort of feel. When you first walk into the school, the first thing you might see is a very interesting desk, which the architect helped me to create. I told him that we were looking for a kind of steampunk look, and he definitely nailed that, and I get comments about that desk all the time. You might also notice the wall mural behind the desk, which shows pictures of our students playing in concerts all over the world. Immediately to your left when you walk in the door is the office. It's quite comfortable, but we don't spend too much time in there because we're here to make music. It's not really a desk job type place. As you proceed through the lobby, you'll enter into what we call the green room, which is where students and parents can hang out when they're not in their lessons. And we have a number of small lesson rooms, which are individual lesson rooms so that kids can have their one-on-one lessons for their individual instruments. And then we also have 2 large rehearsal rooms where the students can practice with their bands, which is really the bread and butter of what School and Rock is all about. We're all about the performance aspect of learning an instrument, and so kids obviously have to rehearse with their bands for that. And one very important thing about having these rehearsal rooms is that it's not so loud that it would disturb the kids in their individual lesson rooms. So when you go into these rehearsal rooms, when you play, you can play as loud as you want, because the way that it was designed was to keep the majority of the music inside the room, and they really did a good job, CHC, of making that happen. So one of the main concerns that we had when we were putting this place together was not upsetting our neighbors, and so CHC did a really good job of helping us to come up with a plan to create a demising wall that would essentially keep the rock and roll music from getting too loud and for our next door neighbors. And actually it works fantastic. Being a performance-based music school, our goal is to get the kids up on stage to perform live concerts. And that's what we do. So we book some of the most famous venues all around the country, around the world, and we put our kids up on stage there. So for example, here in Raleigh, one of the places we play is the Poorhouse, which is Raleigh's oldest running rock and roll club, actually. So our kids get to play these same venues that their heroes get to play when they come through town. But once they start feeling some confidence from learning the music, it can actually change their life and turn their life around. And we've had parents who've come up to us and said as much and said, "Thank you for what you've done, for our child." So it's a pretty amazing thing.